It's weekend and we are going to make one of our favorite Italian recipes, Tuscan chicken. And lately that has actually gone viral on the internet under the name Marry Me Chicken. Because supposedly the recipe is so good that if you serve it for somebody, they will want to marry you on the spot.
So if I were single, I would marry you tonight?
We'll see later today, We have a lot of ingredients that we will go through while we are cooking. But first we have to deal with our chicken. And we want to ensure that they stay nice and juicy. So we're going to create a brine, like we've done so many times before. Half a liter of water and a big tablespoon of rock salt. These big grains rock salt. You don't want to use your fleur de sel for this because it's not necessary. Much better with rock salt. Just want to get this dissolved. And when this is dissolved or almost dissolved, you give it a taste. And if it's like seawater, it's perfect for this. Our injection needle, whatever you call it, injector, meat injector actually. We fill it up. And then we give each of these chicken breasts a nice injection here. Actually, these are quite small. If you've got very big chicken breasts, you could halve them into cutlets so they cook let's say faster and you don't get dry surface on the chicken. But these are nice and small, so we don't need to deal with cutting them today. The last one in, and now what we do is we take the rest of the brine, we pour it straight over the chicken, and then we're going to leave this in the fridge for half an hour to an hour before we start cooking. There are several ways you can go about this, but we are going to go a little bit the decadent way. We are going to go with some homemade pepper bacon we cut into chunks, and that we're going to start over low heat.
You can see links below about the bacon.
Always bacon in a cold pan. I've said it before. You want it to render slowly. You don't want it to go in a hot pan because then it will just burn on the outside. So now we let it come up to temperature slowly here and start rendering out the fat. And that's the grease where we are gonna fry our chicken. It's gonna be so good. And when you have rendered out, like you see here, and we have a nice amount of fat in the bottom, we are going to scoop this out of here. They are so good. I forgot to mention, there's of course a link down below how you make this pepper bacon.
I did before.
Ah, you said that. I thought, okay, that's just me. I can't.
That's okay.
That's memory loss. It's old age. It happens to even the best. Get this out on the side here. Let me take this down. And then we're going to add 2 knobs of butter. Together with a little bit of olive oil so the butter don't burn.
This black residue there is from the pepper.
That's the pepper, yes.
Oh.
And that's why salt and pepper, we will taste it later, but it already has quite a peppery start here from the pepper bacon.
Plus salt from the brining.
It's not burnt. No. It's just the pepper from the bacon. That's looking good. Let me get my tongs here, and then we get started on our chicken. We have drained these and we have patted them dry so that we can get a good sear on them. So down with those. Presentation side down first always. And don't crowd here. You don't want them to be too close to each other because then they will just start steaming instead of frying, and we don't want that. We want to create a nice crust now. Oh, this smells so good.
Perfect.
Bacon and butter, what's not to love? Butter makes everything better. Now we let them go here 4 or 5 minutes before we're going to flip them. And now I think it's time to give these a flip. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, that looks good. Nice. They became real pretty. We want to let them go about the same amount of time here to get some browning on and searing on the other side. We're not cooking them all the way finished here. That will happen in the sauce at the end. Let's just get a bearing on the temperature here. And we are here 64. Oh, that's perfect. Then we don't want to take it any further now. We want to take it out because we want to cook it the last couple of degrees up to 68, 69 in the sauce. So, and that will only be a couple of minutes at the end. So out with our beautiful chicken breasts. And we go in with a large onion cut into batons. I believe that gives a better texture. Of course, you can chop them finely if you want to, but
yeah, otherwise they would be severe.
yeah, they give a nice texture in the sauce like this. And then we have 2 red and 2 green bell peppers, also cut into batons. And now we want to let this soften up for. That will take a good 7-8 minutes to get this translucent, the onions, and soften the peppers. I don't think I want to take this much further now. They are starting to soften up a little bit. So now we take this to a side because I need some space here. And this is the easiest way to do it. And then I'm gonna go in with 3 minced cloves of garlic so they can start getting fragrant. I'm gonna go in with a healthy amount of tomato paste. What is this, 200 grams, I think? I'm gonna go with all of it.
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah, but you want to let this cook out a bit. That's quite important for the flavors here. 2 tablespoons of smoked paprika and a teaspoon of red chili flakes. And you want to toast your spices a little bit, so the tomato paste here, give it a mix so that you get it cooked through. You can actually already smell that.
And the garlic. The sun-dried tomatoes a bit later or now?
Nah, I don't think I want to fry them, but I think I will add them on top of my veggies here so they are ready to be mixed in. I don't want to fry them, actually. Like, I want them to be in the sauce, but not fried from the beginning. So something like this.
The aromas are.
Yeah, and now we start mixing this in, so we get it all combined. Oh, with the smoked paprika, it's really nice. I mean, I love smoked paprika, it's perfect. And we get all of it. A good mix. I can already smell here that you are gonna marry me.
Again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it called? Redo your vows or what?
Renew.
Renew your
Renew
vows.
the vows.
Yeah.
We can do that.
We can do that. Yeah. Let's see when we finish
But
this.
not in Vegas this time. Let's go
Oh,
to
no.
Hawaii.
No, Vegas was fun.
Choose another location, but we haven't been.
So when all of this is nice and mixed in, then we add a bit of fortified wine here to, I don't know what that was, maybe a deciliter. Doesn't really matter. You just want to get some in the bottom here to clean out all the flavors that's stuck in this. And then we let it cook out the alcohol for a minute or so. This is nice and combined and smells divine. So now we're going to go in with chicken broth, homemade of course. I have a liter, but I think I will go in with maybe 750 now, and then we'll see if we need more for the sauce. Keep it on the side there for adjusting. And a liter of heavy cream, and I'll do exactly the same.
And we add as we go. And
Exactly, because we want to have a nice sauce. And now we want to bring this up to a simmer, and we're going to let it simmer for probably 10-12 minutes, something like that, so that it starts to thicken up. And when we are back to a nice simmer like this, there's a little trick. Gonna add the rind of parmesan that we grated and just let that live in there until we are finished, and then we fish it out again, but that gives a lot of flavor. We use that in chili, in stews.
Yeah, that's your favorite ace in the sleeves.
Absolutely it is, and it gives a lot of both texture and flavor, so nice trick, remember that. Now the sauce is where I want it, and I'll show you how to check that. Take a spoon, coat the back side, and if it does like this, and it doesn't run down from the top, you have exactly the thickness you need.
Another trick.
Another trick. Ooh, that's good. Anyway, 250 grams of grated parmesan. That goes straight in, because that will thicken it up a little bit more, and then we will end up exactly where we want it when we serve it. So let that melt. That will take only a minute or two. We are almost at the finale here, almost. This parmesan rind has done its job, so let me see if I can fish it out without making a total mess. There we go, bye-bye. First thing in now is fresh thyme, about a big tablespoon. If you use dry thyme, then do it earlier, but when you use the fresh, do it up against the end, otherwise you just boil it out and it won't be good. We have some cherry tomatoes we cut in half, 25 I think, 20, 25, doesn't really matter. You just want to have a nice amount of those in here, and you don't want them to cook too long, so we are looking now at residual cooking time, maybe 10 minutes. And we go in with 200 grams of baby spinach, washed obviously, and that will wilt down pretty quickly. I'll show you. There we go, and let's get that into the sauce and let it wilt for a couple of minutes. We are ready for the final steps. Back with our bacon first, because that's nice. That will give a bit of a crunch to this. That's gonna be excellent. Stir that in. And we come back with our chicken.
The star of the show.
Star of the show. Actually, no. There's one thing I've forgotten. I have a tendency to forget things today. I want to taste it for salt, because we added the parmesan and the rind of parmesan. That gives quite some saltiness, so you don't want to add salt before at this stage, but I want to check the sauce now before we add our chicken. Damn, that's good. I mean, that
doesn't need salt.
No, it's perfect. Perfect. Nestle them back and make sure that you maintain the presentation side there nicely, so you don't submerge them. Lie them on a bed of roses.
And a bed of goodness.
Yeah, but do not let this go. This you want back in the sauce.
Yeah.
That's flavor, exactly. That goes back in, and now we're gonna add a lid, and we're gonna let that go for 5-7 minutes, and then we will check the temperature on the chicken. Let's give this a check. Ooh. It's amazing. That's all I can say. 66. The small one here is 67. That's perfect, because then the carryover temperature will cook it more, so we reach the early 70s. You don't want to cook this all the way to 75, it will get dry even with the brine. So
but it is kind of protected.
yeah, it is. So now we're going to let this cool down for 10-15 to good eating temperature, and then we'll plate this up, and I can't wait.
I'm definitely looking forward to try this variation.
I'm looking forward to see if you will marry me again.
Let's see.
We will try. Let me cut this, but it definitely looks good and smells good. So a bit of cherry tomato, bit of sauce. Mop up some sauce there, because that's the good stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
If she won't marry me, I will.
Talk about self-centered here. No, I'm gonna marry you again, honey, because that is a hell of a recipe. I mean, I'm
Bloody fantastic. Last time we smoked the chicken, this time we fried it. This variation, I have to say, is the best we've made so far. So give it a shot.